is having a motorcycle racing helmet with the initials JL on it. A lot of people think it's an arrow, but it's actually JL. That stands for Jim Lee. What was the connection with Jim Lee?
Well, Jim was one of the stalwart guys who sort of kept the Battle Motorcycle Club going, and I'd been struggling around my old Velocet, getting sort of reasonable results, but not near the front. And Jim obviously saw potential in me. And at the time, Jim was running a business making racing components. He was making frames, petrol tanks, clip-ons. It was absolutely brilliant with a rolling machine. He could make any shape tank he wanted. And Jim gave me the lifeline I just needed at the time, and that was, come and work for me, we'll build you a motorbike, and I'll sponsor you and go racing. I couldn't believe it. So I worked for Jim for 2 or 3 years, and I learned a lot of my craft from Jim. You know, I made lots of frames, learned how to weld properly and braze and whatever. And of course, in later life, as now as I'm technical sort of director for Norton, it's all information that sort of it was learned the hard way, and it was good. And of course, I stayed with Jim for 2 years. We built the first bike we built was a Gold Star, and the first race out of it was at Croft in the National, and I finished 4th with the likes of Peter Williams and all the top guys at the time on G50s, so that was a really good start. And over that period we built a 350 Yamaha and then Norton Commando, and after a couple of years we were winning lots of things, but we were basically developing prototypes. So, and I realised that my career needed to move on. And at the time you could go and buy a 250 and a 350 Yamaha out of the box and win a British Championship. And so the next step, I didn't like leaving Jim, but I had to. And I went to Paget's Sabbatical, which is just down the road. And unfortunately Paget's were arch enemies of Jim, so it wasn't an easy move politically. But I went to Paget's and rode their 250, 350 and 500, and of course really from then on my career just never looked back. I was on it, you know.